Are you tired? Are you feeling exhausted? Are you just feeling like you're constantly doing things, you're constantly working, and no matter what you do in your life, you feel like it's never good enough? You feel like you're just never reaching that goal, that state of mind that you're trying to get to? The truth is, as human beings, our default state is to be constantly working and doing and moving towards something. We tend to try to manipulate our world and our environment to be just a certain way so that we can finally be happy. We think that if we can just get that job that we want and make that money that we want to make, if we can just find that right special person and get married and have that ideal husband or wife and find that partner that we think will treat us the way we deserve to be treated and they'll finally make us happy. Maybe you think that if you can just live in that one place you want to live, maybe you think if there's a city or a country that you can finally move to, then it'll solve your problems. Or maybe you think that if you can just get that house or, you know, that condo or whatever it is that you want, and if you can just get it, you'd finally be okay. We're constantly running on this hamster wheel and having this thought of, if only this would happen, then I could be happy. But you know from your life experiences, you know that even when you finally get that feeling of achievement, that feeling of completeness, of that finally achieving contentment, it may last for a short amount of time, but it's not permanent. It doesn't last. And eventually, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously, you get right back on that hamster wheel and it keeps spinning. No matter what you do, no matter what you get in this world, no matter what you finally achieve, that thing that you think is finally going to make you happy, it doesn't. It may for a short time. And the reason why that happens is because the mind is always spinning, it's always working, and it's always trying to tell you that you need to get that thing. And when you finally get it, what happens is that the mind decides, okay, I've got it. I can finally rest. I can finally just be with what is, because the mind has decided that what is finally acceptable. And so you feel a feeling of peace and joy for a short amount of time because the mind has stopped. The mind has decided that it no longer needs to work. But the mind doesn't tend to stay at rest for very long. And eventually you start again. You get right back on that hamster wheel again and you go right back at it. And you're back in that wheel of I need to get this thing to be happy. And it's this never ending cycle. And for most people, it's an unconscious cycle. It's something that's just happening in the back of their minds and they don't realize that it's happening. Or maybe you might be a spiritual person, right? A spiritual seeker. And you think, if I can just meditate enough, then I'll finally be at peace. I'll finally achieve enlightenment. You think that if I can just do enough good works, right? If I can just do enough nice things for other people, eventually I'll feel okay. You think that if I can just go on this spiritual retreat or that spiritual retreat, or if I can just sit in silence for a certain amount of time, then I'll be okay. But that's the exact same wheel. It's just got a different coat of paint on it. One coat of paint is I need something in the world to make me feel better. The other coat of paint, the spiritual coat of paint, is if I can just get enough peace through meditation or psychedelics or, you know, a spiritual community of some kind, if I can just get enough spiritual stuff, then I'll be okay. But that's the exact same wheel. It's all this wheel of, I need something. If you look for peace and joy and fulfillment in the physical world, right, in your financial situation, your relationships, anything like that in the world, it's going to let you down. It's not going to ultimately fulfill you, unfortunately. And the same goes with your mind or your spirit, if you want to call it that, from a spiritual standpoint, right? If I can just get my mind to quiet down enough and be calm enough and to stop thinking so much, then I'll be okay. But that's the same thing. If you look for happiness anywhere out there or anywhere in your mind or in any situation, it's not going to ultimately fulfill you. It may for a short time, but it's not going to last. So now that I've told you all this, you might be thinking, okay, well, if I can't find it in the world, if I can't find it with my mind or with my spirit in a spiritual sense, then you know what? How can I find ultimate fulfillment and ultimate contentment? And it's just so simple. It's so easy. It's amazing. And the truth is that it's always been with you. It's always right here and right now. What you're looking for, what you want, that peace, that fulfillment, that ceasing of striving, right? It's right here, right now. It is who and what you are. So let me expand on that a little bit. You are not the character, the person. You are not who you think you are. You are not a person experiencing life. You are the ever present, ever knowing witness of life. You are that being that is behind all of this. You are not a little limited character who is trying to be in the present moment. And you're going through time and you're thinking that if I can just shift to the present moment as the character, I will feel peace. The truth is, you are the present moment. You are the here and now. Everything that you're seeing and feeling and experiencing is simply a manifestation of your consciousness here and now. Everything that's happening, the good stuff out there, the bad stuff out there, the good feelings, that euphoria that you feel when something good happens in your life, or perhaps the depression and despair that you feel when something bad happens, or the annoyance and irritation. It's all just happening here and now. It's all just things that are appearing in your awareness. But those things are always changing, always fleeting. None of it is solid, including the person, including the character that you think or previously thought that you were. But you are being itself. I am being itself. I am not this. I am not that. I am. I am. And everything else is just appearing. And if you get lost in any of it, if you get lost in the physical world or the physical circumstances, if you get lost in your mind or the emotions, then that's where suffering comes from. And you can't be rid of suffering by pushing bad feelings away or bad situations, just like you can't be rid of suffering by holding on to the pleasant situations or the pleasant feelings. None of it is going to last. None of it is going to work for you. You have these aversions and attachments to things inside of you. but they are not who or what you are. They have nothing to do with you. You simply are. You are here and now. That is what you are. So see life for what it is. See yourself for what you are. Be here now, in this moment. You are this moment. Everything is contained within you. Any thoughts that the mind has about things that happened in the past, any worries or projections that you have about the future that are causing you anxiety or depression or high blood pressure, these are all just things happening within you. But you are the fulfillment you're looking for. What you're looking for is who you are looking from. So remember that as you go about your life. It's normal to get caught up in the winds of life, in the winds of change. You get unconsciously attached to things and you suffer. But take a step back. Be the witnesser of your life, the awareness of everything happening. And you will see all of your anxiety and depression. You will see it and it will dissolve on its own. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to look for anything or achieve anything. You are everything and nothing at the same time. You are complete and whole in this moment, just as you are. Please see this. Please notice this. I want you to feel freedom. I want you to stop running on this hamster wheel that goes nowhere and does nothing but cause you suffering. I want you to be happy and free. That is what I want for you. So I hope this helped you. I hope that you see yourself for who and what you are, and that you can finally step off the hamster wheel once and for all and watch the hamster wheel spin from a distance, because you are the ever present, always here now. Thanks for watching. Bye.